Mathematical Terms Reviewer Part 1. The position of any point on a plane from the y-axis, also known as the x-coordinate. Abscissa. A measure of precision of a numerical value of some quantity. Accuracy. A step-by-step procedure by which an operation can be carried out. Algorithm. A side of a polygon which is at the bottom of the orientation. Base. To divide a geometric figure into two equal parts. Bisect. A family of lines or planes which all passes through a single point. Bundle. A form of any given polyhedron distorted so that every edge is tangent to the unit sphere and the center of gravity of tangent points is the origin. Canonical form. A heart-shaped curve generated by a fixed point on a circle as it rolls round another circle of equal radius. Cardioid. The point through which the resultant of the distributed gravity force passes regardless of the orientation of the body in space. Center of gravity. The two spheres that just fit inside a cone, one on each side of the plane and both tangent to it and touching the cone when the cone is sliced through by a plane. Dandelin spheres. The process of drawing conclusions from premises and syllogisms. Deduction. An infinitesimal change in the function with respect to one of its variables. Derivative. A transcendental number which is approximately equal to 2.71828. It is commonly called as the Euler number because it was introduced by Leonhard Euler in the 18th century. E. The ratio of the distance from point to the focus to the distance from the point to the directrix. Eccentricity. A mathematical statement showing that two expressions have the same value. Equation. Each of two or more numbers which is multiplied together to form a product. Factor. The term for derivative in Newton's calculus denoted with a raised dot. Fluxion. A fixed point on the concave side of a conic section. Focus. A sequence of numbers such that the ratio of any term to the preceding term is constant. Geometric progression. The number represented by 1 followed by 100 zeros or 10 raised to 100. This was coined by Edward Kastner. Google. The intersection of the sphere and the plane through the center of the sphere. Great circle. The method of expressing periodic functions as sums of sines and cosines. Harmonic analysis. The formula for the area of a triangle with all sides given. Heron's formula. A polyhedron with 20 faces. Icosahedron. A statement that one mathematical expression is greater than or less than another. Inequality. The ratio of the interest payment to the principal for a given unit of time is usually expressed as the percentage of the principal. Interest rate. If three congruent circles all intersect in a single point, then the other 3 points of intersection will lie on another circle of the same radius. Johnson's theorem. A quadrilateral with two pairs of congruent adjacent sides and forms like that toy kite. Kite. The coefficient of the term of highest degree in a polynomial of one variable. Leading coefficient. The smallest integer that is an exact multiple of every number in a set of integers. Least common multiple. The absolute value of a vector quantity. Magnitude. A way of determining how large something in terms of weight, volume, mass, or length. Measure. Very large number comes from the Greek word murios, meaning uncountable. Myriad. The point on the celestial sphere directly below the observer. Nadir. The study of the whole numbers and their properties and relationships. Number theory. Referring to the 8 compartments of the rectangular coordinate systems in space. Octants. The point of intersection of all the altitudes of the triangle. Orthocenter. A locus of a point which moves so that it is equidistant from a fixed point and to a fixed line. Parabola. The parts of an algebraic expression which contain a polynomial in a single variable in the denominator or in the denominator and numerator when split. Partial fraction. A collection of lines passes through a fixed point or a given point. Pencil. The point on the graph where the curve changes from concave up to concave down and vice versa. Point of inflection. An infinite series in which successive terms are of the form of constants times successive integral power of the variable. Power series. An equation in which the maximum power of the unknown or variable is 2. Quadratic equation. Something with a magnitude or numerical value. Quantity. A segment from the center to a point of the circle. Radius. An equation which is satisfied by all value of the variables for which the members of the equation are defined. Rational equation. The amount left when a quantity cannot be divided exactly by a divisor. Remainder. A number represented using powers of 10 notations used to describe very large or small numbers. Scientific notation. The study of ways that lots of data can be represented using a few numbers and the study how such numbers can be chosen and used to draw reasonable conclusion about the data. Statistics. An irrational number which is a root of a positive integers or fractions or it is a radical expressing an irrational number. Surd. To transfer to the other side of the equation. Transpose. The removal of portions of solids falling outside a set of symmetrical placed planes. Truncation. A set consisting of all elements that appear at least once in the original set. Union. A fraction whose numerator is 1. Unit fraction. An expression that is assigned to a certain set of values. Variable. Point of intersection of two sides of a polygon. Vertex. A right triangular prism turns so that it rests on one of its lateral rectangular faces. Wedge. The value of the abscissa of the point where the curve crosses the x-axis. X-intercept. A unit of distance equivalent to 3 feet. Yard. A portion of the surface of a sphere included between two parallel planes. Zone.